from around the globe, in sold-out arenas and humble churches, from out on the streets to your screen. And now, the time and what must be done. On this edition of Farrakhan Speaks.
Greetings and welcome to part 31 of The Time and What Must Be Done, which focuses on the economic blueprint of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to end poverty and want. Eid Mubarak to all of the followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and to the nearly 2 billion Muslims on our planet for successfully completing the month-long fast of Ramadan. We hope that you enjoyed part 30 of this lecture series, which was part 1 of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's 2013 Savior's Day address. We are truly blessed with a wonderful teacher from Almighty God Allah in the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. The scriptures tell us, how will they know except they have a teacher? And how will they have a teacher except he be sent? We enjoy and appreciate good preaching, but good preaching alone is not going to correct the condition and raise the black man and woman of America up from their dire state. It's going to take a divine teaching and program to reform, civilize, and lift us up. Praise be to Allah for the teacher, the teaching, and the program that will allow us to save ourselves. And now, let us continue to watch and listen to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's Savior's Day address.
Let's take their faces, give it back to them. We don't want more fiat money, we want land. Then we can buy the tools that will make us productive on the land, from which will spring all kinds of businesses that inspire entrepreneurs, not people that are begging somebody else for a job, but you are creating jobs. Then we can grow into a solid economic foundation for us, but without the land, we have no basis for real capital development. Plus, we are an international people. Our brothers and sisters are all over the world, desirous of doing business with us. But if we are not producing anything, we can't enter into trade and commerce with the nations of the earth. As the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote in Message to a Black Man, quote, as a people, we must become producers and not remain consumers and employees. We must be able to extract raw materials from the earth and manufacture them into something useful for ourselves. This would create jobs in production. We must remember that without land, there is no production, and the surplus of what we produce, we would sell. This would help develop a field of commerce and trade as other free and independent people whose population is less than that of ours, so-called Negroes, who are in America dependent. The future is in our hands. You don't have to beat up on other people. You just got to do right by yourself. Now, look. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I was with him one day. He said, brother, I want you to think for the whole and speak for the whole. He didn't want me to speak just for the little nation of Islam. He wanted me to speak for all black people, not only in America, but all over the earth. Think for the whole and speak for the whole. Watch this. He said, here's the way I want you to think. If we have 30 million people eating a slice of bread per meal, that's 90 million slices of bread per day. 630 million slices of bread per week. 37,760,000,000 slices of bread per year. How much land must we have under wheat cultivation to give our people their daily bread? Then he said, move on to milk. How much land must we have? How many cows must we own? How much grazing land must we have to give our people a glass of milk with every meal? And I'm not talking about this poisoned milk. I'm talking about real milk that the Quran teaches us, from between the blood and the dung, a pure drink. But you can't get that kind of milk from today's cows. You gotta love your cows. How do you show that you love the cow? Come here, baby. I want you to moo on this. Give them good grass to graze on. Treat the cow right. Then when you milk the cow, it's giving you back your good treatment. Then you can drink the milk. And in that milk, there are enzymes that help you. But the way the enemy treats the animals, for profit, we're going to be good stewards of God's creatures. We got to love them. Oh man, I wish we could just go out and lay on the earth and just tell her, oh, sweet earth, Lord, how much we love you. What you mean you love the earth? Look at your hands. Look at your nails. Look at your body. Look at what came from the earth. If you don't love the earth and take good care of the earth, then the earth loving you back will give you health and longevity of life. Now, if you like to eat steak once a week, can't eat it every day. What? Well, you got to have grazing land for all your cows, for all your steers. How many sheep must we have, and how much grazing land must we have to give our people a lamb chop? I didn't say pork chop. Lamb chops. Look, would you like a wool coat? See, the sheep is there. Take care of it. It give you its wool. They ain't got to rob nobody. The sheep will lay down, share it. Take the wool. Make it into a garment. See, you got to own the means of production. Then all your businesses will spring up. All right, let's go on. You getting the picture? How much land must we have to give our people a requirement of spinach or broccoli or carrots, cauliflower, onions, garlic, string beans? All the things that help us to feed ourselves come from the land. We're at 46 million people. How much land must we have? We've got to know just what it takes to feed an entire people. That means we are independent. We've taken our stomach away from our enemies. How much clay land must we have in order to make bricks to start building houses? How much forest land must we have to cut down the trees and make wood to build homes? We are 46 million people, and when you add to that 52 million of our Latino brothers, then you have 224 million Caucasians. The point is, in order to build a nation, he had to give our people a vision of what it's going to take. And we have to have land, and there is no compromising this. So from the farmland, you set up a food industry that deals with the proper way of raising and slaughtering the creatures of God that you intend to eat. You don't run around a chicken with an axe in your hand. The poor chicken's scared to death. When you get scared, you release hormones that give you the power of fight or flight. Well, the chicken is running because you're running after it with an axe in your hand. And when you finally get the chicken and hit it, boom, you got to hit it twice. Then when you eat the meat, it's tough because you're eating the milk of fear. No wonder you scratch when you don't itch. No wonder you shaking in front of your enemy. You gotta eat food that you know how to kill what God has given you authority over. You kill it in the name of God. You kill it in peace. You slaughter it so quick it don't even know it's dead. Then that steak could fall apart in your mouth if you know how to cook. Good organic food that is never genetically modified, that are free of hormones and chemicals and other impurities. You should eat the best that there is, and that can only come from farmers who know, love, and respect the value of the earth. You never have to go to the drugstore or the health food store again if we grow the fruit properly. Now listen, sisters, are you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
See, when a woman really knows what cooking is, the science of food, then the woman who's in the kitchen, she's either your doctor or your killer.
That's right. One or the other.
Now, killer. If you don't want to be a killer of your husband and your children, I know you got him life insurance and you made him sign the bottom line, but my dear sisters, listen. Whatever problem that you have, it can be fixed with food. Your wife and the person that's in the kitchen is your doctor, your nurse, and your nutritionist all in one. See, you don't teach women how to cook and just don't throw this in and fry it up. See, cooking is an art and a science. And sisters, oh sisters, you know how lovely and beautiful you are? You know how much time you spend, you know? Imagine if you just spend a little time studying food, the science of food. See, you would never really be obese. What you say, Farrakhan? You be so pretty, so shapely, so appealing, so healthy, just from learning the science of cooking food. The science of how to choose the food that you're going to cook. For every illness can be cured with the proper intake of properly raised food. Now listen, wait. That's why we gotta own land. That's why the land that we get, we have to purify that land from all the poisons and chemicals that the former landowner put in it. And that can be done. The science of how to do it is with us. Now look, Hippocrates said, let food be your medicine and let medicine be your food. Once you know what to do with that kitchen, you'll stay away from clinics and hospitals, and you'll hold off the undertaker. Those who are in the undertaking business, they're making money today because of the madness that's going on in our communities. You have health insurance, but we insured our health. I mean, when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was here, we didn't have no health insurance. But we thought Muslims didn't die because we never saw a lot of funerals in the nation. One man could go throughout the whole country burying our dead. Our health insurance was how to eat to live by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This does not mean that sometime an accident would take place and you need your hospital, you need your doctor. But my mother knew what to do in that bush. What? You know, our southern folk had knowledge. And white folk are telling you, well, these are witch doctors. Well, you know which doctor we gonna choose. The one that knows the science of food is the right doctor in your life. All right, let's move on. Remember our brother George Washington Carver, who took a peanut and studied it, took a yam and studied it, and came up with 100 different products from going into the peanut? See, that's the skill that you already have inside you if you had land to look at, to work the land. So when you don't own any earth, when you don't have any earth that you can call your own, you're at the mercy of those who have it all, and those that have it all don't like you. And those that have it all want to get rid of us, and the best way to do it is to feed us. Animal husbandry, the proper raising of animals, not just for their wool or their hide, but for the milk and the meat. So we grow and raise our own food. We set up a food industry. Then there's the proper packaging of these products from what we slaughtered to be sold in our supermarkets. Now you have food processing, canneries, packers and wholesalers of poultry, eggs, lamb, and beef. So once these things are processed properly, they come to retail outlets, our supermarkets, restaurants, bakeries across the country. We're just not doing anything to help ourselves. We could have a string. What are we doing? What's the number one supermarket chain? What is it? Well, you could put Walmart out of business. At least in our community. If you were the grower of the food, watch, when we grow organic food, Walmart sends their people to buy your food. But suppose we had the supermarkets. Then in the Bible and the Quran, it talks about all the living things that are in the sea that are available to us. There are pearls in the sea, the Quran says. There are riches in the sea. There's good food. So we spring from the land into the fishing industry. Put your ships out on the sea to fish for ourselves. See, there's no end to what we can do if we stop putting them nickels, pennies, dollars together. Then we'll need cold storage warehouses in various parts of the country to store your produce, your fish, and other perishable goods. With the land, you have cotton, you have wool, and the hides of all your livestock that can be taken to make clothing and shoes. Didn't we pick cotton for the master? I know why we ran off the plantation. We made them rich by picking their crops for nothing or near nothing. Well, can't we pick it for ourselves? You can have your own clothing factory. You can have your own needle trades. You don't have to buy sheets and pillowcases from others. It's made from cotton. You grow the cotton, turn the cotton into lint and the lint into cloth. Then those of you with money set up a needle trade business. That's what the Jews did in New York. Is this bothering you? Is this a subject maybe that you would like more fire and brimstone? Let me tell you something. You don't get up and do something for yourself, there'll be plenty of fire and brimstone, and it'll be on our backside. Now look, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, quote, we boast that we should be recognized as equals. Then let us make ourselves equal. The enemy will never recognize us as an equal if we are in a begging position. We're going to have to get up and go to work and do something for ourselves. Now, everybody can give 35 cents a week as an investment in their future. And look at what these pennies, nickels, and dimes can do. Right now, there's a cattle ranch in Texas with more than 70,000 acres. They're asking $34 million. We could buy it after only 7 weeks with almost $7 million left to work with. There's a 4,000 acre cotton farm available right now in Mississippi for $24 million. We can grow our own cotton, make our own clothing, making jobs for ourselves, and we could have it in less than 5 weeks if we put those nickels, dimes, and dollars together. Within 30 days, we would have enough to buy 135 of the finest farm tractors on the market. You can buy them from Case. You can buy them from John Deere. None of these people are going to turn you down. You go with that kind of money, you see them come to the door. Yes, sir, Mr. Mohammed. Praise the Lord, Mr. Mohammed. How many tractors did you say you want? You can stop the disrespect of yourself. We can go to Ford right now and tell him we want 10,000 cars. Don't you think that man will bow down and take your money and give you those cars? There's a shoe factory on sale right now in the Caribbean for only $1 million. And if we get that cattle company, we'll have the leather to supply the shoe industry. Now listen, we got 105 historically black colleges and universities that are just scraping by. With that $291 million in the first year, we could match the endowment figures for 37 of those institutions, making these institutions free to determine the direction, curricula, and staffs to provide our children with an education which will surpass any on our planet. In order to produce capital from the land, we need developed human capital. And that's why proper education is the key to developing a sound economic base. The historically black colleges and universities must become a part of a system where they are functioning for a bigger purpose than just to confer degrees. We want our HBCUs to be ours. And they can never be that unless they are financially independent. Do you know our schools are controlled? They don't want you to learn what will make you free from dependency on others. But hell with money in our pocket, we tell them, no, this is the curriculum that got to be here. This is the curriculum that will make students, that will build not only a nation, but a world. I'm so honored always to see my brother, the great brother Dr. Abdul Aleem Shabazz. Please stand, Doc. One of the greatest mathematicians in the world. I read Grace Amazing, and you are a gift, not only to black people, but anybody who understands mathematics has no color. When you master mathematics, you got the base of everything you need to build your world. There he is. a master of mathematics. See, these are the people we have to elevate. Elevate your black scholarship. Elevate those blacks that we need to help guide our hands to build a nation. These are just a few examples of what we can do with our pennies, nickels, and dimes. Because America is for sale. 5 cents is really nothing at all. We can get our children involved. No, listen now. Give your child a nickel. They'll spit on you. You'd have to smack your child into the new year. Mommy, what is this? A nickel. What can I do with that? Babies will tell you that. But look, we would like you to get our children involved in saving and investment and teach them. Sweetheart, I'm giving you a quarter today, 50 cents today, but I want you to put 5 cents away in a national savings program. Look at our children now being taught the value of saving and investing. We must start teaching the babies and begin to regenerate a culture of purposeful saving and investing. This is what Jewish people teach their children. This is what the Indians from the subcontinent of India teach their children. This is what the Chinese and the Koreans and others teach their children. So we must start. Look at what we've already done with the nation's economic program. Small, but it's a beginning. We bought back 1,600 acres of our farm in Georgia in 1991. We became the largest black-owned and operated farm in South Georgia. We transformed worn-out, weed-infested, hard rock clay land into arable land and workable soil and brought back many of the birds and wildlife. We purchased over $250,000 worth of farm equipment and trucks. We have our own flour mill and commercial sifter. We can produce 800 pounds of flour in an 8-hour day, and we produce the best tasting watermelons in the country, so we are told. On a yearly basis, we produce 8,000 pounds of flour, 400,000 pounds of watermelon, 12,000 pounds of different vegetables, 100,000 pounds of wheat, 100,000 pounds of field corn, and 200,000 pounds of peanuts. We deliver produce to 8 states, whole wheat flour and other goods to 35 cities, and we have provided jobs in the area. That is what our farm managers, Dr. Ridgely Muhammad and his wife, Sister Ann, are doing on just 1,600 acres of land. Where's Muhammad? Where's my brother? Now look, we have a little farm in Michigan. Even in the midst of the worst drought in years, we had our greatest yield of navy beans since we've been planting beans since 1985. That is God saying to us, I am with you. Even though others don't get rain, watch, you will survive. I will heal your land. See, rain comes from the scientists that can make it rain. rain, and good weather. See, so if righteous people come into their ownership of land, even though your land is cracked up under drought, let us have it. We'll show you rain falling from the sky, crops growing from the earth. The righteous have to be the stewards of God's land. Then we'll feed ourselves and feed white people too. Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said we need 100 million acres of land as a start. That's about the size of California. I'm trying to give you a picture. The whole state of California. Man, with that much land and with the help of Almighty God, we can finally begin to do something for ourselves. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad knew that we had many enemies that profit from our oppression and are dedicated to our remaining that way. But he also knew that our condition was partly our own fault. He wrote, "The truth must be recognized by the black man, for he himself has assisted greatly in creating this serious problem of unemployment, insecurity, and lack." So let us look at this in the mirror of truth. It is we who are disunified and distrustful of self, with discord and conflict rampant within all our black organizations. We allow envy and jealousy to dominate our relationships with one another. We criticize and condemn everything black owned and black operated. It is we who refuse to patronize our own. We refuse to pool our resources to address our own needs. And we have failed to truly analyze and follow the successful models and examples that other ethnic and religious groups have followed to benefit their own people. We, the black man and woman, are the only members of the human race that deliberately walk past the place of business of one of our own kind and spend our dollars with our enemies. So before we can achieve success, we must confront and overcome these self-destructive behaviors. Now, these are the things that we're going to have to do. Follow this. We sent the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's economic blueprint to Dr. Naim Akbar, who is a Muslim and the premier black psychologist in the country. For many years, Dr. Akbar has studied the mental condition of black America, and he has written several books addressing what he calls the chains of psychological slavery. He responded to us with a beautiful and thoughtful letter about the challenges that we would face in bringing an economic program to a people whom he says are actually in worse condition now than we were 48 years ago when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad first introduced it. He wrote that the difficulty we face today is that we not only have to overcome a crippling financial illiteracy, but we must also make fundamental behavioral changes in order to achieve ultimate success. Implementing such a program, he said, would require us to restore the moral conscience that is in a downward spiral in our slavish imitation of everything and everybody that is unrighteous. The brilliance of the program, he wrote, is that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad prophetically and insightfully sees that black people have come under influences that represent deterioration in our self-determined and morally guided behavior. And the result of this behavior, he writes, is that our economic condition will similarly decline as we become increasingly like the immoral role models that are before us. What Brother Dr. Naeem Akbar is saying is that our condition calls for a solution that is more than purely economic. It is a specific form of behavioral economics that only the messenger Messiah has the divine authority to address. Dr. Akbar said, quote, "It was striking how the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had a profound understanding of this long before the world's top economists could even grasp the concept. He concludes that implementation of the economic plan becomes achievable only with a preliminary transformation in the minds of Black America." Now, I'd like to talk about our preachers. See, pastors, imams, religious leaders, how do we begin this transformation of our minds? What behaviors must we confront and reform so we can finally achieve the success that has eluded us under every other plan put before us? Let's start by taking a look at our crazy lifestyle. You ready? You ready? Let's look. We think we are poor, and we are, but that is the result of oppression or our own behavior. Let's look at it. It is said that our annual spending power amounts to $1.1 trillion. But what do we spend it on? Scientists have studied our spending habits and our buying habits, so they know how to market their goods to us. And their data shows that we spend far too foolishly and recklessly, and we spend our money on products and services that are leading to our own self-destruction. We have to cut back on the things that are killing us. That's what makes Dr. Naeem Akbar's words to us so fantastically wonderful, because we have to attack the condition of our people morally and spiritually in order for us to become strong economically. It cannot be just economics with us. We have to attack the spiritual problem and the moral problem that facilitates our economic demise. Let's look at this and tell me if we agree. According to a study titled "The Buying Power of Black America" by Target Market News, we spend $3.3 billion a year on tobacco. Another $3 billion per year on whiskey, wine, and beer. Not to think of reefer and crack cocaine. That's $7-8 billion right there. We spend more on alcoholic beverages than non-alcoholic beverages, and on non-alcoholic beverages, we spend $2.8 billion a year. What if we were more thrifty in our leisure time Leisure time spending, that's another $3.1 billion. And then we spend an additional $3.5 billion on toys, games, and pets. How's your dog lately? Some of you don't have enough food in your refrigerator to feed yourself. Come, Fido, come. It's dinner time, Fido. And you eating dog food. It's not wrong to have a pet if that's what you want, but it's better for you to pet yourself a little bit with some good food. Let's go on. Look at what we spend on telephone services. Lord have mercy. Are you ready? $19 billion a year. Now I gotta ask myself, 54% of blacks own a smartphone. How many of you in the audience own a smartphone? Raise your hand, quick, 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 quick. Oh, come on, you don't be ashamed now. Come on, put them up, put them up. All right. Do we need to talk so much? And by the way, what the hell are you talking about? No wonder the FBI knows everything about us. If you don't have it on Facebook and the iPhone, you sure not talking about God for $19 billion. We certainly are very generous people, all right, but it's gossip. Did you know? Girl. One minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour. When does what get done? Now, if you go and look at the amount of time you spend on a phone talking foolishness, suppose we just cut a little of that and drink wine maybe a little less. How much a pack of cigarettes cost? You smokers, look, I know I got some in here with these white dresses and suits and bow ties on. We look kind of holy, but you know, we got to keep it real. I got to get into this moral thing in a minute. Just hold on now. It's going to get sweeter as the time goes on. Look. Now, wherever it goes, we spend 10 billion buying gifts for one another, and more than 17 billion in charitable contributions. Where's your charity going? Is it going to the Red Cross? Well, unfortunately, the people in Haiti don't know anything about that. They never got the money. Are you giving to your churches? It could be. But now churches are screaming that they're not getting enough money. And their grant money is drying up. And now banks in every city are foreclosing on churches. There was a time that they wouldn't foreclose on a church, but not today. They can't wait for you to miss your payment. And I know, we're so competitive. You build a big church, across the street, I'm going to build one bigger. Now you got to fleece your congregation to pay the bill. We need more money. Every week it's a drive. And every time you drive, more people leave the church. They love the choir, they love the preacher, but man, I can't stay there. I ain't got enough money. See, if money is your goal, rather than saving a person's soul, then that kind of hypocrisy have to end, Reverend, Imam, Sheikh, Minister. Oh, just look at what we spend on gambling. I'm not going to ask you how many of you played the lottery. I'm not going to do it. Yes, I will. No, I won't. I don't want to see all these people with bow ties and uniforms. These sisters all dressed up looking pretty and holy. Hey, $300 million if you just get it right. Well, hell, there's the rent money. I had a dream last night. I got to see if I'm lucky today. And then when you add up what you threw away on gambling that you didn't win, I live right around the corner. What's the name of that? Four Winds. My farm is right around the corner. And I go in there occasionally. No, not to gamble. I might attend the buffet. But when I go in, it looked like the geriatric home. I mean, people 50, 60, 80. And the money, they get millions and people lose their homes. See, so if some of the money we throw away, add that to the 35 cents a week. Just take a little from the cigarette. If you have to smoke, smoke a little less. And you know, and then if you can break the habit altogether, look at the money you have in your pocket. If you can shut your mouth a little bit on the phone, just a little. Look at the money that will be in your pocket. And some of you, the National Security Agency of the U.S. government, they monitor every phone call. They monitor all the emails, the text messages. Yes. You don't have no secrets. Well, if we add all of that up, the gambling of Americans is $100 billion a year. Our share of that would be $13 billion. When you add all of that up, we're up to $75 billion. We all can agree could be spent more wisely. And this is $75 billion being spent by a people they say are the most poverty-stricken of all people. And you wonder why everybody from all over the world sees us as their big mammary gland. There's another word, but I won't use it. But you all know what a mammary gland is, right? It's something you suck on. And everybody comes to America and finds their way to you and me. We are spending $29.3 billion on clothing. And tell me, how much money do we pay in traffic tickets? Every year, just for speeding and parking illegally, everyone targets us to drain our wallets dry. We spend $65.2 billion on food. And what kind of food are you buying? See, since you don't want to cook anymore, talk to me. So Sarah Lee, Mary Jane, whoever got some processed food, you throwing that in the microwave, irradiating yourself, your children, and wonder why you're getting cancer. After spending that kind of money on food, then how much is your doctor's bill? After all this bad food that we are eating, we spend $23.6 billion for health care. Almost half the money you spend for food, you spend on doctors' prescription drugs. This is painful. After all these things that we spend in the billions, do you know how much we spend on books? $321 million on books. Dr. Naeem Akbar is correct that we must follow the moral and financial guidance of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to unlearn the behaviors that keep us poor and the merchants of other communities rich. So, when we analyze all of this, we have to agree that our whole way of thinking about money has to change.
Please log on again next week and every week this year for the time and what must be done. Tell your friends, tell your family. Log on to noi.org every Saturday, 6 p.m. Central Time for truth, guidance, and unequaled love from the national representative of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Pass on the word every Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Time at noi.org. The time and what must be done. Remember, to have Minister Farrakhan answer your questions, tweet them to @LouisFarrakhan, #AskFarrakhan. And to add this message to your library or as a gift for someone you love, go to store.finalcall.com.